Hey, fellow Doctor Who fans, and welcome to another episode of Total Ramblings. Now, I have literally just finished watching the Doctor Who episode Rogue. I've literally just turned off the TV. So these are my first off-the-cuff initial reactions. I've got some notes, but other than that, these are just kind of like immediate thoughts. Now, as always, there will be spoilers, okay? Now, this is weird, right? Because at the time of writing this, it's about 8:10 on Saturday morning. I normally wait until Doctor Who is aired on BBC, but I logged on to Facebook this morning and I am very worried about getting spoiled. And This whole thing with Disney showing episode, or the deal with Disney meaning that episodes get shown at midnight, is really annoying me because I have to basically avoid the internet all day until Doctor Who comes on. So this morning I happened to wake up and I just thought, screw it, I'm going to go watch it. So I've watched it now. This is obviously a period episode. It's set in 1813. The TV series Bridgerton has a lot of influence on this episode. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never seen Bridgerton. I know roughly when it's set, but I don't know what it's about. I've never watched it. So the references here are completely lost on me. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the episode. Just means that I don't, there would probably be some bits I might have enjoyed a bit more had I known a bit more about the time period and about the TV series. So basically, the Doctor and Ruby are attending a ball and having a very lovely time. I'm guessing it's just a time that Ruby or the Doctor picked just to turn up. And the Doctor, there's some shenanigans going on with people being swapped out for aliens who are, well, as it turns out, they want to cosplay. They want to cosplay as Bridgerton, which I think is interesting. These aliens are probably amoral, probably verging on the evil scale, but they don't want to dominate the universe. They want to pretend to be other things. They want to cosplay. They want to try on new people. It's interesting. Also, of course, Doctor Who fans, sci-fi fans, fandom fans generally like to cosplay. So I just thought that was an interesting, kind of reference there. It's a race called the Chulder, who appear to be bird-type people. We've never come across them before. And the Doctor sees somebody brooding on a balcony at this thing, and it's a guy. It's a bounty. It turns out he's a bounty hunter called Rogue. And this kind of is like the second aspect of this story. Basically, the Doctor seems to infatuate with this person and seems to fall in love. I imagine right now the internet is probably exploding and there'll be a lot of people getting very angry about this. Look, I remember it being a big deal when Paul McGann kissed Grace, or whatever her name was, in the TV movie back in the 90s. I have no problem with the Doctor exploring relationships and sexuality. At the end of the day, he's a shape-shifting alien from a dead world, and he's not a human, right? He's not limited by our conceits and our sort of concepts of love and sexuality and all the rest of it. So I've no doubt that at the moment there are people foaming at the mouth that the Doctor had a gay kiss. Is it a gay kiss? He's not a human, right? He can be a woman, he can be a man, he could maybe be other species, we don't know. So whatever, just go with it. I don't have a problem. It worked for the story. That's the point I'm making. This bounty hunter Rogue is convinced that the Doctor is one of the Chulder and takes him to his ship. Quite a cool looking ship. Although I will mention now, I noticed that when the Doctor sent it into orbit around the moon, we didn't see it take off. So the Disney money isn't infinite, right? It was enough to see it parked on the lawn and decloak, but we didn't see it take off. Kind of reminds me of that Voyager episode where they land on this planet, and at the end, I can't remember exactly the plot, but at the end, they get taken off and see wonderful cities. But we only learn about the wonderful cities from Janeway's log. She's like, and we visited their cities and they were amazing. Yeah, but we never saw them, did we? And we never saw this spaceship take off and go around the moon. So in a way, I find that kind of charming that Doctor Who is still limited by some kind of budget, right? Obviously, all the money here went on the period costumes and the sets, the house, the whatever it was. Anyway, I'm losing the plot here, right? A nice comment that the guy says, yeah, Rogue says, yeah, my ship's parked behind that shed, and the Doctor's like, shed? I love the shed. He's like, that's my ship. Why isn't it cloaked? Well, it's behind a tree. You know, that is classic Doctor Who sort of humour, to be honest. So, one thing I forgot to mention, Ruby sees a picture of Susan Twist on the wall, a portrait this time. And I think from the trailer for next week, we might finally get to understand a bit of who she is, because there's references to the fact that she keeps appearing, right? The Doctor's on board the guy's ship, which is a bit of a mess, and we get some nice renditions of Kylie Minogue. Love a bit of Kylie. And I'm convinced there's at least one extra face knocking around when we see that montage of faces of who the Doctor's been. I'm sure there's one extra face there, unless it's the Valeyard. I don't know. I paused it and I'm like, who's that? Yeah, another reason maybe why the internet might be exploding. Also, I loved the Willy Wonka song, "Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination." Now, you're very lucky, right? Because I never sing in public, and I've just sung in public, well, with you guys, people, for the first time. The Willy Wonka song, bloody brilliant, hilarious. I like the fact that Rogue got to explore the TARDIS. We can see those walkways in a bit more detail. I also I like the lighting in this episode a lot as well. There was a composite shot of the house with another building in the background, and there was nice lighting there. And then later, when the Doctor and Rogue go back to the ball and create the drama by dancing, we had a kind of Strictly moment there. It was interesting, where the lighting dropped down and we just focused on those two. Yeah, so I liked that. And then, of course, we have a bit of peril where we're convinced that Ruby has been taken over by one of the Children. I did think, oh, God, have they done a Rory? Is she dead again and now she's going to have to be resurrected? No. In fact, she turned her psychic earrings into battle mode and basically bent the beak of the Children who was trying to take her over. I liked that bit of drama. And then, of course, Rogue replaces her and says, the Doctor, find me, you know? So, yeah. I think it was a solid episode. The subplot of the Doctor finding somebody that he finds very interesting, I thought was, I don't have a problem with that. I thought it was good. It provided some nice motivation. The Children on their own probably wouldn't have been enough to carry the episode. I do think they looked a little bit funny ha. They reminded me of the I can't remember their name because I'm getting old, right? The Twin Dilemma, there's kind of bird people in that as well. And when Perry gets changed into a bird person in Vengeance on Varos, I don't think bird people translate well to TV. And it was fine, right? Because the nature of this episode, it was fine. But I just thought they looked a little bit funny. But I think that was the point. But yeah, I don't think that would have been enough to carry the whole episode, if I'm honest with you. So the whole subplot of the Doctor essentially falling in love with somebody, I think that was needed. It looked beautiful, of course. there's my verbal tick again. You know, it looked, in the past, in the 70s and 80s and before that even, the BBC was known for period costume dramas. Now, I know it's not technically the BBC making this anymore. It's Bad Wolf Studios or whatever. But I like to think that legacy kind of carries on. I thought the costuming and everything was fantastic. Also, very nice to see that they squeezed in a William Russell tribute right at the end. That must have been like a frantic edit to kind of get that in there, because of course we lost William Russell this week at the age of 99. One of the first Doctor Who companions, Ian Chesterton. So nice that that tribute was in there, however brief it was. So I believe we've got 2 episodes to go in this series of Doctor Who. That was episode 6, Rogue. I liked it. I mean, I didn't like it as much as other episodes, but I didn't dislike it. It was fine. And I am enjoying this season of Doctor Who very much. And I think Ncuti's acting is excellent. And I think Millie Gibson is... They are a fantastic TARDIS team. They really are. They've really gelled together. You can imagine that there's other adventures happening in between. So yes, I liked it a lot. I don't know the name of next week's episode. Obviously, we've seen the trailer with Mrs. Twist or Susan Twist or whatever her name is. So I look forward to finding out what that's all about. And now I can go back on the internet and not be spoiled. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Total Ramblings. As I say, these are totally off-the-cuff reviews. I haven't had time to think about it. It's just immediate reactions, right? If you are here for Doctor Who reviews, I will see you in another week. If you are here for general Total Ramblings, I'll probably see you in later on today, maybe with maybe some drone stuff or some just general life stuff. Either way, thank you very much for watching. Whatever you're here for, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
If you enjoy what I do here, although I can't think why, please remember to click the like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. You might also want to check out my website, www.worldsbestestpoet.com, if you fancy a laugh.